This right here is something that I never expected to see. CNN itself, the hub of fake news, is finally turning on the Democrats after a mass influx of voters are leaving the party. You guys gotta check this out.
CNN has turned on the Democrats. Yes, in a very surprising turn of events, CNN data guru Harry Enton took a stab at the Democrats, desperately asking the party, "What are you doing?"
The Democratic brand right now has about the appeal with the American voter as the Cracker Barrel rebrand has with the American consumers. Bad, bad, bad. What are you doing? Oh my goodness gracious.
The host then went on to present some dire statistics from the Democrats in relation to voter registrations.
Are there any bright spots for Democrats? Have they picked up any ground since January 1 in terms of party registration? Not in these key swing states, these 4 key swing states. What are we talking about? Party registration margin gain since January 1, 2025. Which parties gain in Arizona? The GOP. How about Nevada? The GOP. North Carolina? The GOP. How about in Pennsylvania? We'll make it 4 for 4, the GOP. The bottom line is this, Jessica Dean. When it comes to party registration, Republicans have made massive gains compared to 8 years ago. They are in their best position in these key 4 swing states dating back at least 20 years. You have to go back at least 20 years, at least in the case of Nevada, longer in North Carolina and Pennsylvania. So Republicans looking pretty gosh darn good, at least when it comes to party registration. And we'll see what happens down the road. But at this point, as I said at the beginning, the Democratic brand is in about as good a position as the Cracker Barrel rebrand. It is bad, bad, bad for the Democrat.
This commentator reacted to the surprising move by CNN, saying CNN just admitted it live on air. The Democratic brand right now has had about the same appeal with American voters as the Cracker Barrel rebrand has with consumers. That's not commentary from Fox, that's CNN. They're finally saying out loud what we've all seen on the ground. Dems can't recruit new voters. Swing states are shifting. The GOP is making registration gains in places they haven't led for 20 plus years. This isn't a red wave, it's a political exodus. America's waking up, and CNN just sounded the alarm for the left. And another host doubled down with these concerning numbers for the Democrats.
In all 30 states that track party registration, we're putting on the screen the data. It shows altogether Democrats have lost 2.1 million voters. Republicans have gained 2.4 million. That's a deficit that you have of 4.5 million voters.
Commentator C.J. Pearson agrees, saying people aren't buying what the Democrats are selling.
Why are millions of people leaving the party?
Because we're so back. I realize what I'll say. But also, too, because I think people are frankly not buying what the Democrats are selling right now. You know, what we saw in the 2024 election among voters, 18 to 30 was a 20-point swing into the favor of Donald Trump, a Republican, unprecedented in what we've seen historically. And I think as we continue to see young people continue to come over to the Republican Party, come over to conservatism, we'll continue to see this gap between Republican and Democrat voter registration continue to grow. And I got to tell you, it makes a lot of sense. Democrats don't have a vision. They don't have anything that they actually have to sell. And Republicans are not just selling hope, but they're selling results. And the results are a stronger America, a better America for the future, but also the present.
And it's not only CNN turning on the Democrats, with MSNBC's Scott Jennings grilling the mayor of Chicago on crime after Trump's cleanup of Washington, D.C. was a great success.
Hearing what I'm saying, I'm agreeing with you that all of these other social programs are extraordinarily important. I just need a yes or a no, and then this will be the last time I ask. If you get all of those other social programs that 800 million that New York City does, Los Angeles, other people do with great success, would an additional 5,000 cops on the streets in Chicago help complement those programs to make Chicago safer?
White House Chief of Staff Stephen Miller reveled in the downfall of the Democrats, slamming them on Fox.
The Democrat Party does not fight for, care about, or represent American citizens. It is an entity devoted exclusively to the defense of hardened criminals, gangbangers, and illegal alien killers and terrorists. The Democrat Party is not a political party. It is a domestic extremist organization. Look at Chicago. They've shut down the police department. They've handcuffed law enforcement, and as President Trump says, they have turned the streets of Chicago into a bloody killing field. Here in Washington, D.C., before President Trump launched the federal law enforcement liberation in D.C., there was a murder on the streets of this town every other day. Body after body after body after body. That was Washington, D.C. Now we're 2 weeks homicide free, the safest the city has ever been in its entire.
A lot of people, when they think of the political climate in America, they think, oh, the Republicans are in power. They have the Senate, they have the House, they have the presidency. They're just killing it right now. But no. I actually think the amount of winning that we're going to do in the future is going to far exceed anything that we have today. Because, one, people are understanding how much better their life is under President Donald Trump and how much winning we are actually doing, whether it's these trade deals, whether it's ending all the foreign overseas wars, whether it's bringing down the cost of groceries and gasoline. We just keep winning and winning and winning, bringing crime down in the inner cities. How can anyone be against this? The Democrats, what they like to do is lie about what the Republicans are going to do. They fearmonger. They say, oh, you're not going to be able to do this. You're not going to be able to have an abortion. You're not going to be able to have that. They like to spin you all up and get you enraged so that you say, I don't want Donald Trump because he's going to take away my life and liberty. But when he gets into power and you realize all of that's just a lie, it's CNN spewing nonsense, MSNBC just saying anything to get under your skin, you'll wake up and say, you know what? I want more of this, so whoever Trump endorses, I'm going to support. Because my life is measurably better under the Republican Party. But then you also have to think about all the gerrymandering that is going on and how all these states across America are starting to redistrict, which means they're kicking the illegal immigrants off of the census, which should have happened day one. But also, we're going to have stricter voting laws. We're not just going to allow drop boxes and mail-in voting like we did in the past so brazenly, and it was extremely difficult to verify each and every vote. But just the combination of those two things are going to add so many House votes that I really do believe that in 2026, we're going to have a colossal win, something that nobody would expect because people are waking up to how insane a lot of the radical left policies are, and that Donald Trump is actually working on behalf of the American people. He could sit on a beach in Cancun drinking margaritas, having his feet up, but instead he's going through hell each and every day to give back to America because it gave so much to him. You have to respect a guy like that. I mean, for goodness sakes, the man got shot in the head. He got shot right in the ear, and he stands up and screams, fight, fight, fight. That's a man that is on a mission that is far greater than himself. He doesn't need this, and most people in his shoes would not do what he is doing. If seeing all this winning is not enough for a former Democrat to switch to the Republican Party, then just listening to the Democratic leaders should be enough. I mean, Gavin Newsom is supposed to be the head of the Democratic Party in the future. Just look at the state of California and think, do you want that to encompass the entire country? California is the laughingstock of the world, and that is due in large part to Gavin Newsom and his horrible policies affecting the state. So yeah, there really are no moderates left in America, because once people that actually pay attention to what's going on, they realize it's either voting for somebody who wants to support this country or voting for somebody who actively wants to destroy it. And then once you see it in that frame, in that context, you realize it's a no-brainer and you gotta vote for the Make America Great Again movement, which is not necessarily the Republican candidate. We've seen that with RFK Jr. and we've seen that with Tulsi Gabbard. You have to support the person who's doing their best to make this country better than it was yesterday. And that's what I love about this Trump movement. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this down below. Do you think that there are any moderate Democrats left in Washington, D.C.? And if so, who? Let me know. I'd love to know your thoughts. And if you enjoyed, make sure to smash that like, comment, subscribe, and wish you guys nothing but the best. Till next time.